Hello, fellow artists. Terry Jones here, and I thought I would share my process. I'm working on this mixed media painting, mostly acrylics. At this point, I'm using acrylic inks, and what I am doing is I'm picking out some koi. I have decided I did a start. That's what you see, that painting that is behind it. I kind of did just a beginning painting, and now I'm finding what's in it. And when I looked, I thought, I originally did this as an underwater series. So my thought process was that I would pick out fish or dolphins or turtles or whatever. And so in this one, I decided I was going to try to pick out some koi fish. And what I'm doing is I'm using my at this point, I'm using a turquoise acrylic ink, and I am doing negative painting of the fish themselves. So I've lightly sketched in some koi fish, and I am negative painting around them and trying to pick out where the fish are and then toning the rest of the paper around it. You'll see every once in a while I'll skip an area and it's either maybe be a rock or a fish or whatever later. Now I decided the turquoise was a bit light for what I wanted, so I switched to, this is a marine blue, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm picking out pieces, I'm surrounding the fish, I am also leaving some points of interest in the painting, and I will continue to do this until I have my my subject pretty well defined. I go back and forth, but this negative painting really begins to pull out whatever the painting's going to be that I am going to do. So you can see the shape of the fish are beginning to emerge. It's three koi in a pond, and they're swimming kind of in a circle, following each other. And I just keep on darkening, refining, and, basically coloring in the background. So I'm thinking about my color choices, and I'm thinking about what do I want to do next in the painting. So as you can see, I've separated some spaces out. I'm holding it up. I'm trying to run a little bit of the ink down toward the edge and the outside of the paper. I'm picking out some more spaces that I've decided that I'm going, for the moment, to leave without any extra color, and I'm painting all the way basically around to the edge, trying to decide what's next. I decided that I really needed to give the fish, I want them to really have kind of whiter fins, so I started adding in. So now I'm positive painting where I was negative painting before, and here I am toning what I had negative painted with colors. That is something called flame orange, and I'm going to add some red. I'm going to basically be using the flame orange and the red with the turquoise and the turquoise and the blues. They're beautiful together. They really pop each other. The turquoise and the red and the blue and the orange, they just pop. So here I am just glazing a little bit with ink. And what you'll see is, because these acrylic inks are so transparent, I really am very successful at glazing with them. So you'll see all of these other colors and whatever was down below it in one of the many, many, many layers. I probably did about 5 or 6 layers on these paintings before I ever even pulled out the subjects. So I was thinking a little bit about seaweed, and then I was thinking I want a redder fish. So I made it redder. And I worked back and forth and making decisions. And a lot of times I will change my mind. You will see me frequently during this process changing my mind. But I am just going back and forth, back and forth. The acrylic inks do tend to pick up a little bit of the color underneath unless the color's thoroughly dried. So a lot of times you'll see me spending some time drying in between one to the other. So that's what I just did. I thoroughly dried that painting, and because I didn't want to mess anything up. And now I'm thinking about putting another layer of stencils in it. I'm not totally happy with everything. So here I am putting a lighter turquoise on. I used the stencil, then I flipped it over and kind of using the side of the stenciling tool and using a brush and just playing with the patterns here. And frequently I will pull off because I put stuff on and then I don't like it. But here, again, I use the stencil again. I'm enhancing it a little bit, pulling off. I'm using it to I don't like to waste ink, so, or whatever, so I end up turning the stencil over and using it in other places. So here's one of the first times you're going to see me go, oh no, that really wasn't what I wanted to do. When my painting is absolutely thoroughly dry, I can change my mind and take off whatever I just put down. So I had put down those dots and I hated it, so I took it off, and here I took just some of what I'm putting down off. So here I'm trying again. I'm beginning to think I wanted to enhance the circular feel. So I found a stencil that has some dots and dashes, and I made them go in a circular feel. And I did not like the bottom corner. It looked too square for me. And so then I decided I was going to change that with some stenciling. I really like the top right corner with the feeling of the seaweed in it. And still not sure what I'm going to do with that center. That center ends up being just a disaster for me. So I decided I was going to try this, whatever, flowery, abstract mandalia, because I wanted to get the feeling of circular motion in the center. But I went, oh, I really hate that. It was way too busy. So again, wet a paper towel and wipe it all off. So now I thought, well, I like those dots that are already in there. I know I must have used this stencil. Where is it? What portion did I use? So I placed the stencil down, and then I decided I'd change the color a little bit, and I'd go for a little bit more of a lavender color in the very center. And of course I have to put it in a couple other places too, and I liked the lavender color. I was liking that, and I'm adding it in a few more places because I never only add it in one. Then I thought I wanted to put eyes in them, and then eventually I decided that I really don't like the eyes. And decided I do not like that red showing, so I changed it with the stencil, and I changed another area with the stencil, and now I'm just kind of going, what's next? So again, more white. I wanted the fins to have more sense of light in them, so I just kind of enhanced them a little bit. And then I decided that tail had to be skinnier, so I tried to darken it in areas. using just a little more. That was just using some marine gray or marine blue. And again, now I'm putting a little more blue in the white. It got too light. And so what's next? Well, I'm getting toward the end at this point. And the entire time I've always thought that I would, end up putting some black in the koi. They're usually dark they usually have black marks of some sort in them, or big white marks. So I tried to put the black in the eyes, and that didn't work either. So you see me smudge it out, and I'm working on adding a little more texture, adding a little black, using my fingers, using everything I have, and deciding what's next. I hated those eyes, so I'm going to go back and put them in with some black dots. And I think I put more black in the top dude. Really he needed to be different. And I'm putting I thought they had like white whiskers, and then I decided no, I like the black. I'm going to put black whiskers in a little while. And still, I didn't like this piece of green showing there. I didn't like that. And now I'm doing my finals. Now, here I was trying to kind of connect everything with a little line, and I decided that I didn't really like it as much as I thought I would. First, I thought, well, maybe I need to put dots in, and so I put some dots, but the dots were coming out too big, and then silly me, I put a bunch more dots in, and I didn't like that either. Actually, no, when I look at it, it's not bad. But more dots in, and so I'm thinking, well, when in doubt, just put more dots in, and there's just something not working. So I thought of just washing it all off, and then I said, no, I'm going to get this sponge, and I'm going to pull it off with a sponge, which is what I did, and a paper towel, and I'm going to clean out all of the dots. I did not like the dots. Again, if you do this when you first, when everything's still wet, if you don't like something, just get rid of it, which is what I just did. I just got rid of it, so I like it much better now. But now I don't like the circle in the middle, and I keep on trying to adjust it somehow, and it just not making me happy. Well, let me see if I connect it down here. Now, let me see if I do more. No, well, let me see if I get the whole thing wet again. I don't know. Another dot. Oh no, more dots. No, I don't. Oh, well, I like that line. I'm still an unhappy camper here. So I took a moment and I thought, well, maybe I'll just darken around the fish. Maybe that if I highlight the fish a little more, this will give me the drama I need, and that silly little circle in the middle, the spiral in the middle, won't annoy me too much. But no matter what I did, that spiral was very annoying. So I went back to say, well, what can I do to get rid of it again? So it still annoys me. So I go again, and I just really rub and get it off. I'm like, I can't. I just couldn't do it. I like the circular. I like the line around. I like everything. And so then I thought, well, let me do some circles. I needed to get everything connected, and I couldn't figure out how to connect it. So what I did is I did circles inside the fish in the little bubbly looking areas or stones or whatever it was. And then I started doing circles on the outside of the fish. And I'm like, well, this is working. This is connecting everything together. This is this is making it actually the whole thing look really cohesive. And make a mistake and erase it. And let me put a few more little circles. So I did circles instead of dots, but I think it really worked. So here I am signing it, and that's the finished painting. Very happy with it. Thanks for watching. Bye.